Social Security is delivering on Christmas Day some very important information and documentation to all 75 million beneficiaries, as well as the following day, it's going to be hitting the mail. I'm going to be describing exactly what Social Security is delivering in just a matter of days here, why this is incredibly important, and why you want to watch very closely for it. And I also have this article right here, which I will pop up on the screen in just a second, so you can see and read for yourself exactly what they're talking about right here, which also helps to support exactly what I'm sharing with you in this video. There's a lot more to it than just what is being delivered by Social Security. So I want to explain all of it and why this is going to be incredibly important to hold on to this information basically throughout the entire year of 2026, especially with all of this stimulus check talk that is out there right now. Let me explain all the details behind this. All right, so here we are in about mid-December. Well, it's around mid-December right now as I film this video. But point being is that it's a very important time of year as we get all of this new information coming out of Social Security, all of the new announcements, as well as the implementation of all the rules that we've talked about over the last couple months here that were announced way back in the end of October. So as we roll together here and wrap up the end of 2025 and transition into 2026, a lot of things are happening now. In fact, let's pop this up right here. Here you go. Here's the article. Feel free to read through this. Let me point out the key details. So on the 25th, which is Christmas, I don't find it to be a little bit interesting that they're publishing this on the 25th, but on the Social Security website within your secured My Social Security account, the Social Security Administration is going to make available your SSA 1099 or SSA 1042S, okay? Depending on if you're located in the country in the United States, you will get the SSA 1099. And if you're located outside of the country, you'll be getting the SSA 1042S is what it is, okay? This is your tax documentation, which is furnished to the IRS from Social Security to tell them exactly how much money you received, as in how much you were paid by Social Security in 2025. Your official tax documentation. Okay, so it's available on your Secured My Social Security page on the Social Security website on Christmas Day, the 25th. The very next day, they will be mailed out physically in the mail. Okay, now you might be thinking, who cares? I don't want this tax documentation. You do. Trust me on this one. You want to hold on to this documentation. Okay, here is why. Let me give you a couple different reasons why. Number one, we've heard so much about this $2,000 stimulus check coming. Yeah. Well, at some point, we don't know when, right? Here's my point behind this. In general, if the $2,000 stimulus payment that the president has talked about so many times, if that happens in the first place, we still don't know if it is. He says it's going to, we don't know if it's actually going to happen. If it happens, it should happen automatically, as in people will get paid automatically. However, if we roll back and we look at 2021, there was an instance where the bulk of people got their payments automatically. Some people did not get paid automatically. And years later, the IRS came out and said the only way to claim those stimulus checks was to file a simple federal tax return. Okay, my point being is that if the $2,000 dividend, the $2,000 stimulus check from the president actually happens in the first place, again, we still don't know if it will. If it happens in the first place, it should be sent out automatically. But I'm going to say this much. If it happens, unfortunately, there will be some people that do not receive it for whatever reason. Some people that are eligible won't receive it, and the guidance forward will be you would need to file a tax return in order to get it. Okay? Again, not tax advice, not legal advice, not accounting advice in any way, shape, or form. I'm not your accountant. I'm not your CPA. Look at your own situation. I don't know your exact situation. My point is, though, some people, unfortunately, will probably need to file a tax return in order to get it. Okay, it doesn't matter. Remember, it's always about your income. That's the only thing that predicates somebody's eligibility. But my point being is that if you happen to be somebody that needs to file a tax return, this documentation from Social Security, your SSA 1099, SSA 1042S will be vitally important. If you need to be somebody that files a tax return in order to get this stimulus payment from the president that he's talked about so many times, I don't know if we will need to. I'm just saying hold on to this document. It's proof of your income. And you would need that in the event that you may need to file. Okay? Again, not accounting advice. I don't know your situation. I'm just saying please hold on to this document when you get it, file it away somewhere safe, hold on to it for the next year, and there you go, okay? That's very important. Now, next, some people, okay, I'm going to make a dedicated video about this, by the way. So if you see me talking about this again in a few days, I'm making a dedicated video about this next topic. Like I said, it's so important. I'm going to make a new dedicated video talking about it, okay? For those of you, there's not many people, but about 3 million people, give or take a little bit, that received money because of the what was it? Social Security Fairness Act. Yeah, sorry about that. The Social Security Fairness Act, which was signed into law back in January of 2025. Okay. It was big signing ceremony. Anyway, it repealed the GPO and the government pension offset, and the windfall, the WEP windfall elimination provision. It repealed both of those. Okay, my point being is that these individuals, about 3 million people, got huge payments in 2025, as well as they got higher benefits starting back in April of 2025. They got way more money out of Social Security. They're going to get hammered with taxes. I'm just saying they're going to get hammered with taxes and they don't know it. Okay, my point being is that if you happen to be one of those individuals, please hold on to this document that you get from Social Security. It's going to be vitally important when you go to file your federal tax return because you're most likely going to need to file. I'm just saying, okay, I don't know your situation. I'm just saying, please hold on to this document. Not only that, if you need to file a tax return, again, I don't know your situation, but this is also your proof of income that you will need in order to file. Okay? It's very important. This documentation, I know a lot of people look at this and think, who cares? I don't typically file a tax return. This coming tax filing season is not going to be a normal one. It's going to be very different because of the $6,000 to $12,000 senior deduction, which was signed within the OBB, the big tax reconciliation bill over the summer. That's number one. The Social Security Fairness Act, again, signed into law back in the beginning of January 2025, giving a lot of beneficiaries, about 3 million people, significantly more money, as well as the potential of this $2,000 stimulus in, the next, who knows how long. We don't know how long it's going to be. Okay, my point being is that it's going to be very important. You got to hold on to this tax documentation and maybe you don't use it. That's okay. But either way, it is proof of your income that you need at some point. Okay? If there's any time throughout the next year or so that you need to prove your income for whatever reason, this is your document to do that. It's official tax documentation from Social Security. It's furnished to the IRS. They have all this. By the way, quick little side note, look through it and make sure that it makes sense and that it's actually accurate as far as how much you actually received. It would be rare for them to make a mistake on this, but mistakes do happen, okay? Make sure that it's accurate. Here's why I want to make a big point about this. Let's just say that you received, I don't know, $12,000 in 2025 from Social Security, but yet you look at your tax document, your, again, SSA 1099, SSA 1042S, whatever it is that you get, let's just say that you look at it and it says $36,000. For whatever reason, they multiplied it by three times more than what you actually received. What if that happened? Well, guess what? That's being furnished to the IRS. If all of it, okay, it's all I'm trying to say. Anyway, for those of you that have a My Social Security account on the Social Security website, watch for that to be available on Christmas Day. Interesting timing on that, but it's available on Christmas Day. And then the very next day, the 26th, these will be hitting the mail, physically paper. They'll be sent out in the mail, all of which to be received no later than January 31st is the deadline on this. Okay, so anyway, keep an eye out for this. If you don't have a My Social Security account, you don't need one. I mean, it's not technically required, but I've said this for years. It's nice to have. I have one. I log in probably 3 times a year, maybe once every 3 or 4 months or whatever. Again, give or take a little bit. And I just look around, make sure everything looks good. Nice to have access to that. And you can gain all this information right there. And remember, the mission out of Social Security right now is to what? Digitize everything. They don't want us going to physical field offices. I mean, they're making it very obvious what they want us to do. They want all of us, 200 million of us, to sign up for a My Social Security account. They've said that. Okay. My point being is that take advantage of the resources that are there. It is free. You don't need to sign up. It's not required. I think it's a handy tool to have if you want to. It's nice to see that there. And everything is digital that you can access. I mean, right from your phone, right from your computer, whatever. Anyway.